Welcome to Michigan Replay. I'm Larry Adderley here with Coach Bo Schembechler. And Bo, after a couple of easy weeks, you had your hands full up in Minnesota.
We sure did. We met an aroused Minnesota team, and they played great football against us, and there are all kinds of circumstances that were against us, but nevertheless, in the long run, we were able to pull it out.
Yeah, you don't want to be crying in this because you won your ball game, but there were some strange calls by the officials.
Well, some that I'd never heard of, really. They called a touchdown back on us when the penalty was against the opponent and never even gave us an opportunity to decline the penalty.
I don't think that's even possible, is it? In the rule book.
It isn't. According to the rule book, it isn't. And, you know, unfortunately for us, we ran a play and fumbled the ball and recovered our own fumble and eventually scored, but it could very easily have been that we'd have lost the touchdown on the basis of that bad ruling.
Now, that's not a judgment call, but there were some judgment calls, pass interference particularly, and that affects the way your defense plays.
Well, I thought our defense lost its aggressiveness after the interference calls. I think one of them probably was a justified call in the goal line. However, there were a couple there that I would say would be very, very questionable.
And they just kept going against you and against you the whole game.
Well, you know, when that momentum changes, we scored the first two times we had the ball, and I thought we were going along real well, and then all of a sudden we had a roughing the kicker penalty, which I didn't think was justified, and several other calls like that, and all of a sudden you lose your aggressiveness defensively particularly, and I think that hurt us as far as defending their passing.
Have you filed a protest? Are you going to take some action?
I'm definitely going to call the commissioner. I don't think that group should represent the officiating we have in the Big Ten. I think we've lost some of our top officials, perhaps to the professionals. And I think maybe because there were several of these fellows that I had never seen before. And, gee, there was quite a bit of incompetence on that field as far as officiating was concerned.
That interrupts the game. But we do have game film, and you did win the game, and it's kind of exciting as far as this film goes.
Well, it is. This is an option play with Ricky Leach keeping the ball. This is our second drive that puts us down to the 5-yard line here. And he gives the ball here to Rob Lytle, who bucks right over the left guard position for a touchdown.
Feeling the pressure, and he just went with it to the end zone.
That's right. We dominated him fairly well up front. Now, Tony Dungy here, their fine quarterback, had an excellent day against us. And this pass, of course, was one that shouldn't happen, but it did. And he put the ball up in the air, and their receiver caught it. Here he's rolling out to the left, and this is the interference call. You see the flag flying out there.
Yeah.
Dwight Hicks, our safety man, intercepted the ball, which would have been great had we not interfered. And then a 1-yard pass here on a counter pass scored the touchdown. This is their first touchdown, and I believe the score at this particular time is tied. This is the option play again with Leach keeping the ball and getting good yardage. They didn't want us to pitch the football out to Bell, and consequently Leach ran quite a bit. Russell Davis substituting for Lytle, who was injured in the game. And here's the touchdown on the option play and the pitch to Bell. Gordon Bell, in this game, Larry, was absolutely sensational in his running and really did a great job. Watch this run. On a power sweep, Bell breaks loose here and skithers through several guys, runs all the way in the end zone here, and they call a face mask penalty on Minnesota and put the ball down here. Now that's
But he's in the end zone.
He's in the end zone. There's no way possible. We didn't even have an opportunity to turn the penalty down.
Which you would have done, obviously.
Which we obviously would have done. But they took a touchdown away from us there, but we eventually got it, so it really didn't hurt us. This is an interference on us, which is almost impossible when you're in front of the receiver. And
to interfere with him, right.
To interfere with him, and that gave them a first down. And you know, those little things just keep giving them opportunities, and eventually they hit a great pass here to Koulis, their split receiver, for a touchdown. So at this particular time, I think the score was 21-14, and here's the tying touchdown on a power sweep into the sideline. We went ahead 21-14, and he went in to score to tie the game at 21-all. And so at this time, it looked like anybody's ball game, which it was. This would be a very key play here. I believe this is the fumble by Minnesota, which gives us the ball. This is really their only big mistake of the day because we got no interceptions from them. But we did get this turnover, and that was very important. Here Minnesota punts, And Dwight Hicks has an excellent return here that gives us field position, and we capitalize here immediately with Gordon Bell going for a long gainer for the touchdown. This is Bell on the first play, ripping up the middle for a first down.
That wasn't the longest punt return by Hicks in the world, but it was good.
It was
field
good.
Position.
Great field position. Now here's the touchdown. Another great run by Bell. He spins around here and eventually goes into the end zone for a touchdown. He had a great day for us, and that was really important. He was our champion of the week, obviously, running over 30 times for 170-some yards.
You're expecting that in the future you've got yourself a pretty good running back in Huckabee, but Gordy Bell is saying from week to week, Huckabee can have the job after I graduate. Huh?
You're right. Maybe he feels the pressure in practice of Harlan, because Harlan's doing an excellent job, and so Bell really, I thought, was just great in this game. He scored out extremely well in almost everything that he did, even besides his running.
You were not happy with the officiating, but you're not claiming that Minnesota didn't play a good ball game.
Oh, listen, you know, as we were saying here, they always talked about the Big 2 and the Little 8, and here Minnesota almost beats us, and Indiana leaves after getting shellacked in our stadium and goes over to Columbus and plays great football themselves. And you know, your players read it, and they begin to think, well, gee, you know, we're going to get 50 points and win this game easily. But that Minnesota team really came out and really hit and played great football against us. I don't want to take a single thing away from them, because I thought they were great. It'd have been a close ball game regardless of the officiating. But if the officiating's bad, it's bad, Larry, and it certainly was in that game.
You said you were happy to go on the road last week going into that Minnesota game. You still happy, or going to be?
Well, we had a nice trip. We had a beautiful flight to Minneapolis, and
Nice flight back.
The weather was nice, and we enjoyed it a lot. But and I really can't honestly say that we played bad football. I would have liked to have been more consistent offensively in the third period. I'd have liked to have had our secondary backs break on the ball and perhaps get an interception or two. I'd like to have had our defensive ends contain Dungy as he rolled out a little bit better. A lot of things we could have done better, but we weren't really bad. And so I'm not displeased at all, but we do have to do a little better from now on, because I think things are going to get a little rougher.